Hello? Oh, hi, darling.
Half a world away, another day. So let's go play on the moon. It's a starry place. We embrace the space while we're miles away on the moon.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of The Other Line. I am your host, Kelly Keegs. This week we're going to be talking about weddings, but before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the news today. Personally, in my life, we at Barstool are doing this thing called SLING Sleepers, and now we are on SLING. We love SLING. SLING provides us with this platform. They gave me this set. They're fantastic, so we love SLING. We are doing this thing called SLING Sleepers, where we have chosen a basketball team for March Madness, one of the lower ranked schools. We have a team of people, whatever. My person is Alyssa Publicity. We were given Richmond, Virginia. We got to cheer them on the other day. They won. They beat Iowa. Really sorry to Stefan. I don't think he's here actually. But yeah, sorry about that. But I, again, always am talking about how I don't care about sports, but then, there are days where I forget that I do work at a sports company, so it requires me to care a little bit about sports. And March Madness is the exception, I would say. So in a horrible turn of events, the Richmond Spiders lost to Providence yesterday while I was at a wedding. I then lost the chance to win a cut of like $50,000. So I'm really upset about it. But I think everybody else is still kind of in the running. People are still gunning for it, so good luck to all of them. Pay attention to the game, download SLING. You can watch all the games on SLING. So just enjoy the rest of March Madness while you still can. Gia, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm a little upset because
You're upset?
Michigan State just lost to
Oh,
Duke.
no.
Speaking of March Madness.
God damn it.
I know.
Everybody's getting upset by this. I'll say this.
It's a bunch of heartbreak. It's a lot of heartbreak tonight.
It is a lot of heartbreak. And again, I'm always talking about how I don't care about sports. I do kind of like March Madness though, because if you know the like rules of basketball even a little bit, you can kind of get into a game, right?
It's
like you can
fun.
Right, you just drink, you go out to the bar, you have friends.
And
it's fun.
barely even, I know some stuff about college basketball, but when I do my bracket, I literally just kind of pick whatever team, like
I do the same thing.
Like the colors, or if I like the mascot, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, I do the exact same thing. I have one bracket that I do with my dad. My dad organizes a bracket at the company that he works at. And I think I'm ranked, I don't know where I'm ranked right now. I think I've gotten 55% of my picks correct, I think is like what it told me. So, whatever.
That's not bad.
That's right. That's not so bad. I feel like that's not terrible. And I do the same thing. I just kind of like pick whatever I want to pick. So,
yeah.
But regardless, you can watch all the games on SLING. So get yourself a little subscription to SLING if you're looking for some March Madness action. Before, again, we get into weddings, I want to quickly talk about Kanye West being pulled from performing at the Grammys, which this is insane. Kanye's just been on a rampage. I think that I don't want to get into all of it because I want to save it for next week, because next week we're going to be talking about award shows. We're up against the Oscars, so we're going to be talking about award shows. So we can get into the Grammys then. For now, Kanye will not be there. Whatever. I'm honestly not disappointed at all. Like, what would he even perform, to be honest? Like, I was so over Kanye, I could die. All right, so now let's set the mood. Excellent, excellent. I love the sound effects. I love the graphics. Everything is just always looking so good. So yes, I was at a wedding this weekend. Shout out to Connor and Alex. Congratulations, and many happy years ahead. The wedding was lovely. It was in Florida. I was on a flight today. I've had, 3 different pairs of eye patches on, and I just have a lot of makeup on today. So I'm really hoping, everybody was saying such nice things about my makeup last week. I'm really trying to keep it up, especially when I'm very tired and a little hungover. So that's going to be tough. But it was a really fun time. It's been a really long time since I went to a wedding that I wasn't involved in. I wasn't either really close, I'm close with Connor. Connor works here at Barstool, but I wasn't involved in the wedding at all. Usually I'm either in it or I'm that's one of my best friends or something like that. So it's been a while since I've been able to just kind of show up, wear a good outfit, and just party the night away. I don't know. It was a nice change of pace. I have 3 other weddings this year. 2 of them I'm in. 1 of them I'm very close with the bride and groom. So it's going to be one of those things where just jam-packed full of weddings. And I thought maybe at this point in my life, I'm 31, I keep saying that, but at this point I thought maybe either the weddings would slow down or kick up. I seem to be still right in the middle of it. The past few years, I've just gotten a million I've just been in a million weddings. I've been at a million weddings. Everybody's getting married. There's love in the air, and it's kind of lovely. Gia, I have a question for you. Have you been to any weddings yet? Like, are you, besides like family members and stuff?
I was the flower girl in my nanny's wedding.
Oh my God.
But besides that,
I love that.
I don't think I've been to one like in maybe 10 to 12 years.
That's a long time. Yeah. I feel like it'll come for you like an avalanche. Like I feel like I was waiting for so long for weddings. I was so excited. I had a couple really early on when I was like coming out of college, and a couple of friends like found their people in college and then got married right away. And it was great. But it was one of those things where I was like, oh man, like here we go, weddings. And then it was kind of a dry spell for a few years. And then it's just a literal avalanche. Like it's nonstop.
I remember we were talking about that, I think like last week or something.
Yeah, yeah.
We were doing group chat, and I was like, I'm so excited for like when I get to go to weddings. And you're like, no, it is actually
like,
sometimes can be a nightmare.
It really can be, and that's why I say there's a big difference between just like going to a wedding and being involved in a wedding. And I guess the main difference is it's just like a lot more work, you know? You just, you want to be there for your friends. You want to be genuine for your friends. Like, of course, you love your friends. You want them to get married. You want them to be happy. You want to make sure that you provide all the support that you can provide. And it's just a nice thing to, hold on, I have to take this off for a second. It's just a really nice thing to be able to do for your friends. And when you're asked to be in a wedding, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel important. It makes you feel like, oh wow, I really am a significant person in this couple's life. I have been here for their journey, whatever. So whatever you get out of it in that way is great. I think that on the flip side, sometimes after I've been in like, I don't know, 6 or something weddings at this point, I'm like, damn, I'm just like too good of a friend. You know what I mean? Like, I am too good of a friend at this point. Too many people need me like in their wedding party. Too many people like want me involved in their stuff. And again, I love to be involved, but it's just, it's a lot. And I think that the number one thing about it is always has to do something with expenses. Like expenses are outrageous. Traveling is crazy. And it's just a part of life that you kind of have to deal with. Another thing that kind of goes hand in hand with that, I've had the pleasure of giving a couple of speeches in my life before. And you would think that, you know, I have this show right now. I can like talk, whatever, chit chat. I should be good at giving a speech. I'm not bad at it, but I get very nervous because there's a difference between hanging out with your friends or doing something like this or even going on a podcast, like whatever you think that you would be good at it in like a public speaking kind of situation. It's really hard to get up in front of like a very close friend and deliver a meaningful speech that like doesn't sound corny, that doesn't sound like fake or just like, you know, you pulled it off the internet and changed a couple of words. You also don't want to embarrass yourself in front of their family. And they put so much pressure on like the best man and the maid of honor to like deliver a kick-ass speech. Like everybody talks shit about a maid of honor speech or a best man speech that sucks. And so all you want to do is just make sure that you don't suck. You don't have to be the most amazing speech giver, but you just don't want to suck. Outfits, I had oh wait, you know what? Going back to speeches actually. Gia, will you throw up I forgot I had a photo for this. Will you throw up the photo of me with a little bit of wine after I gave my maid of honor speech? This is my bestie's wedding out in Napa area, and I just crushed my speech and I felt really good about it. So I was just, you know, with a casual background, like whatever. That's just me flexing right now. I just wanted to put that up there. But that was a good time. That was like, she's like my very best friend. I was so nervous to get that speech because again, like I knew everybody there. I like knew her family. I didn't want to fuck it up. Everybody was like, oh, Kelly, you're going to be so good because you do podcasts and whatever. And I was like, God damn, this is a lot of pressure, but it ended up being okay. It's always like short and sweet. You got to be good about that. So yeah. I want to also talk about the outfits that you can wear to weddings when you're in them versus when you're not in them. When you're not in them, you can kind of go all out. Like this weekend, I wore a ridiculous outfit. I found these shoes that were like bejeweled peacocks. I don't even know. They were insane. And so I got like a green jeweled dress. It was fantastic. And I got compliments all night long. It was amazing. And you never want to be like so obnoxious that you're you know overshadowing the bride. That's insane. You can't be doing shit like that. But it's really fun to kind of just dress up. It's an occasion. Like we don't really have a lot of occasions to dress up as adults. Like when do you get to do that? It's weddings are the only choice. We get to put on a suit, put on a dress, put on some heels, do your hair, do your makeup, and have a good night with some food and drinking and dancing. It's always a good time. But another thing that's good about the outfits is that if you're in a wedding, your outfits are kind of planned out for you. And so you don't overpack. I am an overpacker so bad. All I do is overpack. And thankfully, on my way to another friend's wedding this past summer, I had a very small amount of clothes to be packed, but my suitcase was big. I didn't have another small suitcase, so I just threw a couple of things in there, whatever. Turns out I arrived too late for my flight, and I do not have TSA pre-check, something that I applied for today, because it's outrageous that I don't have it at this point. But I was too late to check my bag, and I needed to get on the flight. It was out, again, in California. It was out in Santa Barbara, and I needed to get out there because if I didn't get out there, I wasn't going to get the ride to the place. It was this whole thing. So a lovely, lovely woman behind the desk, the check-in desk, found me a TJ Maxx bag to throw all my shit in. Yes, this is me, and then use it as my luggage in my overhead container. And this is insane. I can't even explain to you how I almost puked in the airport. I was like, I have to be on this flight. What am I gonna do? Everything fit in this bag. I only had 3 dresses that I had to wear. It was kind of like a 4-day weekend, whatever. I had a couple of outfits, 3 dresses. I knew I planned out, whatever. This could only happen if you're going to a wedding or something like that, because otherwise there's no way that all my shit would fit in this tiny ass suitcase. I looked insane putting it in the overhead bin. Everybody thought I was trash. It was, it was a whole thing. But of course, I would love to take some calls about bachelor and bachelorette parties. I, again, have been to a million of them. I think that they are very fun. I think that they're a good opportunity to go and be silly and just do whatever the fuck you want. I think that a lot of people don't take advantage of their bachelor and bachelorette parties. You don't necessarily have to go somewhere crazy. You don't have to go to Vegas. You don't have to go to Miami. Or you do go to Vegas and you do go to Miami and you do it up as big as you can. If you're gonna do those big trips, you do it. But otherwise, you can still have just as much fun doing something down the shore or trying to, go to a mountain house, a lake house, something like that, where it's just you and the girls. All of those things can be so fun. And I think that, it has a lot to do with the group of friends. And usually, if you're lucky, the people that are getting married, the bride or the groom, will already have a good group of friends that can kind of mesh well. Because if you're all friends with the bride or groom, odds are you're probably gonna get along. So I have a photo. I think I have a photo. Gia, do I have a photo for bachelor and bachelorette parties? Or can we not show it?
I got it pulled up.
Oh, fabulous. Okay, so this is my friend. I'm not gonna say her name. This is a game that I brought. We went to Vegas. This is a game I brought where you strap a fake penis to your waist and you play ring toss on it. And it was insane. And there are all these dumb games like this. And my friend will kill me. That's why I purposely did not keep her face in this, because she would literally kill me. I can't wait for her to see this. But I thought it was the funniest thing you could ever do. I think penis stuff on a bachelorette party is a must. It's supposed to be stupid. It's supposed to be silly. You're supposed to be chilling. And I just think that this one, I still have these things. I bought all these games, and so now I just bring them to every bachelorette party I go to. I just bring all the dick stuff. That's my MO. So you know what I mean? It's an opportunity for you to just be immature, be silly, be stupid with your girlfriends or your guy friends. This is the only time that in my head, I'm not disgusted by guys doing dumb guy shit. You know what I mean? Bro out, go to the bar, scream at the TVs during March Madness, scream at scream at whatever you want to, drink a million beers, crush them on your head, do all that bullshit. That's the kind of shit you do at bachelorette and bachelor parties, and I really like that. The last thing I will get into before we jump to a break and start taking calls is the idea of being drunk at a wedding is difficult for me because I am uncomfortable being drunk around other people's families, their extended family. It's cool if you're hanging out with their parents. You probably have met them before. Maybe some extended aunts, maybe some cousins. There's always people that have come around to a birthday party or some kind of something that you are a little familiar with. But being drunk in front of the extended family, the great grandparents or the great aunts and stuff like that, oh my God, I just avoid them like the plague. It's just so tough to kind of figure that out and how you're supposed to act. I don't even know. I know that anytime I'm seeing an older person, I always want to chit chat with them. I love my grandparents. I'm good with old people. I like to talk to them. I'm very interested in what they have to say. But I do know after a half a bottle of wine, I'm not trying to talk to the Nana. I just want to leave her alone because I'm going to be yelling in her face with my wine breath. So I can't have that. I'm dying to hear what you guys say about it. So let's go to a quick break. And then from here on out, call in 888-STOOL22. Can't wait to hear what you have to say. And welcome back to The Other Line with your host, Kelly Keegs. We're now going to take some calls. Let's ask the stars. All right, let's see. Who is first? I'm going to pick someone. I think I know who this is. I hope this is who it is. Let's see. Brett from Texas. Who's that? Hello, what's going on?
Hey, Kelly, this is Brett from Texas calling in. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Well, hey, I was calling in to ask. Sometimes you get a little excited coming into a wedding weekend, and maybe you go a little too hard on Friday. So I was wondering if you had any tips for kind of making the wedding marathon a marathon and not much of a sprint. If you know what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. Well, unfortunately, I don't have much advice for this because I just made this fatal mistake this past weekend. I went too hard on Friday, unintentionally. I don't even think I went that hard on Friday. Like, I must have accidentally drank a couple of bottles of champagne. Like, I did not realize how much I was drinking. Saturday, all day, I was comatose. At one point, I was at lunch and I had 5 drinks in front of me, I think, maybe 4. I had a cucumber mint mule, I had a Gatorade, a water, and a ginger ale with some bitters in it. So that was something. By, I want to say, maybe 6:30 p.m., I was okay to have 1 martini, and then I had to drink ginger ale the rest of the night. You can't ruin the wedding. It's just, I looked great, so that's all that really matters. But generally speaking, yeah, you'll ruin your day if you go too hard the day before the wedding. That's a fact. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I think you pulled through just fine. I was just wondering, just because sometimes you get in Thursday, sometimes you get in Friday, and it's a long weekend. So I didn't know if you had any pacing yourself tips, but I appreciate it, Kelly. I'll stick to the Gatorade and bitters floater on Saturday before the wedding, just to make sure you're good to go for the rest of the weekend. Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Go ahead and take that advice for sure. Thanks so much for calling in, Brett. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Kelly.
All right, bye. I think that was a real person using the fake accent that I know, but I'm not totally sure. I get a little thrown off by the calls sometimes. Let's see. Now let's talk to. Oh yeah, look, this is me looking hot. This is my outfit. Oh my God! By the way, everyone keeps asking me where I got this from. Everything I had on this outfit, shoes, everything is all Amazon. I literally live on Amazon. I just search specifically what I want. So like I found those shoes that were funky, and then I found this dress, found this like weird choker necklace thing. I was very into it. This was also a photo booth photo, like emailed to me. People are asking if it was taken on like an iPhone 6. Basically, yeah, I guess. Like, I don't know. But I still look great. My spray tan's looking fly right there. It's fantastic.
You look amazing.
Thank you so much.
Green is definitely your color.
Green, as you can see, I love green. All right, let's talk to Kelly from Long Island. Wedding gift ideas. Kelly, what's going on, girlfriend?
Hey, just surviving these Sunday scaries.
Oh my God. How you making through? Are you gonna be all right? It's hard.
I think gotta go to bed. Hope for a brand new start tomorrow.
Honestly, that's always the way to do it. Sometimes you just gotta go to bed. Just put yourself to bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether you're drunk, whether you're sober, whatever you're doing, sometimes you just gotta go to bed, wake up, and start new. What are your
Exactly.
questions about gift ideas? Because I struggle with this as well.
Yeah, so I was just informed that I have a destination wedding in Mexico next year.
Oh, geez.
So what are your thoughts on like destination wedding gifts? Like we're paying for the flights, we're paying for a hotel. What do we do gift-wise?
I am in like a very similar dilemma. I have 2 destination weddings this year, 2 very close friends, and I think what I'll probably do, because it's so grandiose and whatever, and one of them I'm actually in, I feel bad like not doing a gift. That to me, doing nothing feels like funny to me, right? Like it just feels, whatever. What I like to do is look at the registry and see like some of the smaller things that they might want, like maybe a really nice set of champagne glasses, or maybe something that the 2 of them can use that's not just like a household appliance, like something that has a little bit of significance, like but doesn't have to necessarily be like the pizza stone that they want that's like $400. Like it does not, definitely not something like that. I would stick to like the lower price items. Yeah, the lower price items that you definitely know that they want, and kind of like try to find something that is maybe a little bit meaningful from you and them, and just kind of piece it together and write it in your note. Be like, oh, think of me every time you cheers these glasses together, or something like that. I think that it puts a little bit of meaning behind it,
Yeah, that's a cute idea. I like that.
Perfect. I wish you luck with that. Destination weddings, it'll be a lot of fun, but yeah, it's a lot of traveling, a lot of stuff. But I bet you'll have a good time, and I hope I do too.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. That's great advice.
Awesome. Thanks so much for calling, Kelly. I appreciate it.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. Let's go to Brad from Michigan. Let's talk about fall weddings. Ooh, what's going on, Brad?
Hey, Kelly, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are
again,
you?
like everyone else said, you looked fantastic on Saturday.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, again, I tried really hard despite being so hungover, so thank you.
Right? I have a theory. You shouldn't be allowed to have a wedding after Labor Day.
Ooh, why do you think that?
Because for all the guys there, we want to watch college football. And we're being drugged to a wedding. We're going to be checking our phones the entire time. To one point, I mean, I know you're a big sports fan now.
Yeah,
but
right,
they
huge.
scheduled the wedding on the biggest rivalry weekend. So I'm like watching TV at my table.
Yeah.
So I just think you shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Okay. Here's my thoughts. I don't think that, I get what you're saying about the sports thing getting in the way, and I know that guys are always bitching about this, especially, like Saturdays in the fall, or even like if there's weddings on Sundays, people freak the fuck out because of, because of football and whatever. I think that if you're going to have a wedding at that time, at like a big sporting event time, and you know that your husband or your wife or whoever it is that's getting married is very involved in sports and is like going to be wanting to watch those things, then you can't get mad if people are like on their phone at the table. Like you can't, as long as they're not on the phone during the ceremony, and then that's it. I think the ceremony is the only time where you're like, put your phone away, be an adult, like pay attention to these people exchanging their vows. You came all the way here. But once you get into the reception and the best man, maid of honor speeches, like do whatever you want, honestly. Like that's for the bride and groom. As long as the bride and the groom aren't on their phones watching sports, then it really doesn't matter that much, I don't think. I think like it's just, you have enough to worry about,
10:30 during the ceremony.
During the ceremony, I think is insane. You can't do that.
Yeah, it was. It was.
That's
but it
nuts.
was worth it. But yeah, it definitely was.
That's insane.
When's your wedding going to be?
When's,
Like you have to have this planned, right?
I change all the time. You could tell me any time of the year, like, hey, you have to have your wedding at this time, and I have a plan for a wedding at that time, if that makes any sense. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I have a million different things that I would ever want to do in my head. I could make anything work because I've seen so many beautiful weddings and I've seen so many beautiful things, and I feel like I would love any of them to be my own. So I'm not so picky about that, shockingly.
Gotcha.
But thanks so much for calling, Brad. That was a pretty good question. I feel like that's something that comes up a lot is the topic of sports at weddings and whatever. And it's obviously insane. Like, if I wasn't on the show and not trying to be like, I'm not trying to be so rude. I think it's like fucking insane. The people that like lose their minds over sports at the weddings. But like I said, you can't get mad at people for doing that. People are gonna do that. People are gonna be on their phone. People are gonna text, like whatever you want. Oh, what is this? Tracy from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Oh, Tracy from New Jersey. Who's this?
Hello?
Hello, Mom.
Hello,
How are you?
Kelly?
Yes,
Oh my
this is my
gosh,
mom.
I'm a huge fan, Kelly Keegs.
Thank
All
you,
right,
Mom. I
listen,
appreciate it.
I had to call in.
Yes, I like your
had
topic.
to call in because, oh, great, because listen.
Yes.
So I got married in 1988, okay?
Great year.
And at that time, it's so different now. And as I watch people much younger than me as they're getting married, it's so different when you're making your guest list and who you're inviting. I didn't have a whole lot of say in who I invited. I had people invited to my wedding that I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Like my mom said, oh, the aunt or the extended blah, blah, blah is coming to the wedding. We need to invite them. And then they show up with like 4 different people I've never met in my life.
What?
I'm curious now. Yeah. I've never met these people, and I'm curious about current day. How do you guys deal with that? Like people that you don't know them, but you feel obligated to invite them?
Yeah.
And how do people deal with that now?
I think first of all, I did not know that you had people come to your wedding and like bring other people. They just showed up with people. That's bizarre.
Oh yeah. Oh,
How is that even
fun.
possible?
Like,
oh my God.
Well, they show up with extended family members, and you just got to make it work.
Oh my God, that's
it was
insane.
Yeah.
That's truly insane. And I know that you and I have talked about this before because you have said to me, which I was so thankful about, that if I'm ever to get married and I want to have this wedding, that you're not going to like tell me who I have to invite. Like I can invite whoever I want. I can not invite whoever I want. Because I do feel like there are a lot of parents still that aren't so cool about that. Like they're maybe not as hardcore as your parents, like where you had to invite like literally every single family member you own, and then they're bringing along freeloaders. Like what the hell is that? But I do think that there are a lot of parents that still are like, maybe it's like a keeping up with like you know, not the Joneses, but like with your family, like not trying to have anybody be mad at you, because people get real touchy about weddings. Like some people put so much stock in it. Like if you're not invited, you're not important. People, I think of it like that, which is insane. I think that's ridiculous, you know?
Yeah, I think that a lot of people just feel like, oh, if I don't invite this one, I'm going to insult so-and-so and blah, blah, blah. And we didn't even have like a huge family. I can't imagine people who have these huge families that they have to do that. But
yeah.
Anyway, you know, sorry to be the mom to call in once again, but
no, honestly, your call is welcome, because this is important. This is something, because people struggle with this all the time. Like parents are always forcing people to like add all these people to their guest list, and then people have to cut real friends and people that are actually in their lives all the time. I think it's definitely a little better maybe than it used to be, but I know that people are still struggling with that, and that sucks. It just sucks so bad.
Well, I stick with it, Kel. Whenever the day comes, it's your day, not mine. So
thank you, Mom.
There you go.
I appreciate that.
Listen, proud of you as always.
Thank you.
Good luck to you, and talk to you soon, baby.
Thank you so much. I love you.
Love you. Bye.
All right, bye. That was my mom. I'll call her later. Let's see. She's right though. I have a bunch of friends who are struggling with this right now, where their parents they just need to have all these people on the guest list, and I think that it's very much so like they don't get in trouble. Like they just don't want, you know, they want their kid to be celebrated, they want their whole family to be involved, and they never want to like run into them at a different family event and then see one of these family members that wasn't invited to the wedding. And it's like, obviously the topic of the family is always gonna be whoever's youngest and getting married. That's just how it is. People get interested. And I think that, I mean, it sucks. It totally sucks. But I think, you know, I would still give your parents a little bit of leniency. Like, don't be too mad, because they're just feeling pressure themselves. If your parents start getting a little buck about it and start being like mean and like telling you to cut stuff off, then it's a little ridiculous. But all right, we still have some calls to take. We have people really calling in. A lot of people want to talk about weddings. Let's hit a break real quick, and then we'll come back. Welcome back to the other line. We are still taking calls. We are still asking the stars. You are the stars. If you want to call in and talk about weddings right now, 888-STOOL22 is the number. Let's see. Let's talk to Gabby from Wisconsin. She wants to talk about divorced parents at a wedding. Ooh, this is interesting. Gabby, what's going on?
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
Fantastic.
So divorced parents, wedding.
Yeah.
So my parents got divorced when I was like 3 or 4.
Okay.
So it's been a very long time. I'm 24 now.
Okay.
And I'm getting married this summer.
Ooh, congratulations.
And thank you. And the divorce was so not amicable at all.
Oh, shit.
My dad cheated on my mom with her best friend at the time.
Oh my God,
so, like,
scandal. so scandalous.
Very scandal.
Oh my God.
And like super duper get it. But like 20 years later, when I'm about to get married, it's still a problem.
Oh my
She
God.
like wants to invite all of these people that are her friends, which I know you were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's a very much like them against each other type of situation.
Oh.
Still to this day. So like she refuses to invite her to like my bridal shower and doesn't want anything to do with them at the wedding. And like my dad kind of have to invite him, and he ended up marrying the mistress. So
shit, I was just going to ask that. Okay.
Too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So they got married, and have they been married like this whole time? Like how long until they got married?
So they got married pretty much probably like, I don't know, 5 years after. So they got married maybe like 10 or so years ago.
Damn.
So it's been a long time. My mom is with somebody too.
Okay.
They've been together for like 15 years at this point.
Okay.
And they are not married, but they've been together for such a long time. So
right.
in a
So
relationship.
she has somebody. She's
married
not
now.
right.
Yeah.
So she's not like stuck, by herself. I feel like situations like that with parents of divorce. I'm lucky that my parents aren't divorced, but I have a lot of friends that are. And I think that whenever their parents find somebody new or have someone with them, it kind of takes the heat off of like that anger that happens. At least that's what I've observed. But when it comes to weddings and things like this, they start to get a little territorial. Like, this is my kid. Like, this is my situation. Especially moms.
Yep.
Like moms, moms are like a little more involved. I would say they're arguably more involved than dads. Not because it's, especially if you're a bride, not so much if you're a groom. I think it's whatever, either way. But if you're a bride, because a lot of the milestones you go through when you're getting married have to do with your mom. Like, she comes wedding dress shopping with you. It's she plans your bridal shower. It's like, it's very involved. And I mean, that sucks that she's feeling like she needs to kind of, flex a little bit about the wedding. But at the end of the day, like, if you need to have a conversation with her, this is kind of the time. Like, you have the excuse of being like, I'm stressed about the wedding. That's always what I would think. Like, I'm stressed about the wedding. I'm trying to focus on my day, and I'm trying to make it good for me and my fiance and all of our friends. And it needs to be about us. And so you guys have to like squash it for a little bit. I was like, you can go back to hating each other right after the wedding, but you have to be cordial and you have to be cool. And if your dad and his new wife and they want to invite friends of theirs, if your mom and her significant other want to invite friends, it's like they can invite who they want to invite, but you got to make room for your friends too. As long as your friends are covered, I think that you just have to make sure, be like, this is how many people I need. You can have this amount of people, and that's it. Like, I think it's time. Like, you're 24, you said, right now?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's hard at 24 to kind of like stand up for yourself to your parents. Like, I still have trouble with it. Like, not that I really need to do that much, but like every once in a while, if I need to be like, well, I believe in this and I believe in a certain thing, it's hard to kind of do that. But this is such a good excuse to be like, listen, I'm getting married and this is my wedding. And I know you guys are paying for it probably, or you're helping out a lot or whatever's going on. But like, at the end of the day, this is my shit, What do you think about that? What do you think? How do you think that'll go over?
Well, poorly, because I've already done that.
Oh,
which
shit.
is the part. Yeah, which like kind of sucks, because when she was planning my bridal shower, I was like, look, you have to invite her, because my step siblings, I have 2 step siblings, they are also part of my bridal party.
Yeah.
So it's my sister and then my 2 step siblings, and I was like, you got to invite them to the bridal shower as much as I know you don't want to. And she said to me, well, you will have them at the wedding, so it's okay. And I said, Mom, I would really like to have one bridal shower where I can have my whole family together. She said, well, yeah, you'll get that. You'll get your one day with the whole family. It'll be your wedding day.
Damn, this is so tough. This is so tough. It hurts. Honestly, it sucks so bad.
Like, what about when we have kids? What are you going to do when we have one birthday party for the kids? What are you going to do about that? And she said, well, it doesn't matter. That's not a problem right now. Like,
oh my God, I feel bad. I feel like way worse for you. Obviously, this is such a tough situation. It's shitty that your mom's putting you in the middle of this. Like, that's just a thing where like she'll regret this. Like, she'll look back on this and she'll be like, damn, I wish I wasn't like putting my daughter between me and her father. Like, you have to have that, like, whether or not he like screwed her over 20 years ago, whatever it was. It's still like, I understand that it can still hurt and that animosity can still stay, but it sucks. I'm thinking maybe you do something like special with her, like maybe you incorporate something like just you and her at the wedding or something like that, because you know how like there's the like father-daughter dance that you'll get to do. Maybe you do something with her and be like, listen, I'm doing this special thing with you and all this shit, but you have to meet me halfway. You have to be okay with this. Like, this is my life too. This is my wedding. Like, that's what it is. At the end of the day, it's my wedding. And it sounds like she's just maybe feeling like she wants to feel special. She wants to be in it. But again, it's your day. It's your wedding. That's tough, Gabby. Damn.
Well, I think the other thing is, like, she didn't get married to the person that she's been with now for
right. So it's maybe
whatever years.
Right.
So I think that's also a problem of like, well, you're getting married and I didn't get to do my other wedding, and
right. But you know what? Like, I mean, the first one didn't work out, but she still had one. Like, everybody gets at least one. Like, you know what I mean?
That's true.
Like,
That's fair.
Like, at least have one for yourself. Like, whatever. But I think that it sounds like, like maybe she hasn't had to really think about a wedding in a long time. Like, I'm sure she's been to weddings in the years, but she probably hasn't had one so close to home. And maybe it's just dredging up old feelings and making her feel like shit. And she just like, she's losing her baby girl. She wants a little control over the situation, and it sucks.
Yeah,
she shouldn't be putting you in this spot. But I think, like, I don't know. I know that you said you tried to have a convo with her. Maybe have another like really candid convo. Be like, listen, I'm not like angry about this. I'm just really sad because the things that you want are things that I can't give you. Like, you just have to meet me halfway. Like, it's just I'm an adult. I'm getting married. That's the end of it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Damn,
I
Gabby.
feel like I should suggest therapy at some day.
A little bit, yeah. Maybe like a little like mother-daughter therapy, and then get some like a mani-pedi after or something like that. Be like, oh, let's talk about it, and then we'll feel good.
Make it cute and fun.
Exactly. Yeah. Just have a mimosa, and everything will be fine.
Yeah.
Mimosa solves everything. God, I wish you luck with that, Gabby. That's gonna be tough.
Thank you.
Let me know how it goes if you ever get to have the conversation. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
I'll be all over the Instagram.
Please do. Please do. All right. Thanks for calling. All right, let's see. Now we've got Thomas from UMass Amherst, and he's wanting to talk about the TLC show about the weddings. Thomas, what's going on?
Kelly Keegs.
Hey, hey.
Hey, what's up?
I can hear you. What's going on? Love this
So
energy.
it's my birthday today, and what else would I do but call into the other line?
Oh my God, happy birthday. And thank you for calling in on your birthday. Oh, I feel amazing. Do you have a drink in
Thank
your
you.
hand? Are you celebrating?
Of course. Well, I mean, I'm not going to say what birthday it is, but I do have a drink in my hand, okay?
Excellent,
I'm
excellent.
sipping
It's
on a
none of my
White Claw
business what
Cherry.
birthday it is. It is none of my
Exactly,
business.
Exactly. Age is just a number.
Absolutely.
But I wanted to talk about how ridiculous the shows on TLC about weddings are.
They're
First
insane.
of all, 4 weddings. We picked 4 of the biggest bitches that you have ever met
100%.
to talk about weddings. And then not only are they ranking each other's weddings, but they're tearing each other's weddings apart.
That show specifically for weddings, I've seen it a bunch of times. It's one of those shows where, especially if I'm like really hungover or something, I'll pop it on. I could just watch like 10 hours of it. Same thing like Say Yes to the Dress. But this show specifically is one of those shows that like you are watching these people and you can just tell that the girls or whoever is on the show and talking about their own wedding, they just want to be the best wedding. So they're gonna talk shit about whatever the fuck they can talk shit about. Like all they want to do is talk shit. They just want to cut down these other people, make them feel terrible, and it's like it's crazy that they allow it on TV. Like it's nuts.
It's so absurd.
Yeah.
But, okay, Say Yes to the Dress. Can we talk about that for a second?
Of course we can talk about that. I spent half my life watching Say Yes to the Dress, I think. Like, I'm not kidding.
Oh
like,
my God.
it's so insane. And to be honest, I've now been wedding dress shopping with a bunch of friends, and all we ever talk about is Say Yes to the Dress. Like, every dress place is always like, it's a joke at the end, like, so are you saying yes to the dress? Because we all know that we all watch it all the time.
But, okay, when you go wedding dress shopping, you're like, okay, even if you don't like it, you're like, oh, like, that's good, you know? Like, you're being supportive because, like, we don't know what the bride is thinking in her head, right?
Totally.
But Say Yes to the Dress, oh, my God, the mother of the bride is ripping her apart.
Always.
She's like, really? You're going to go mermaid dress? Like, I don't think that flatters your curves.
I have never...
Like,
You're so right. I have never seen like meaner moms than the ones on Say Yes to the Dress. Like they're just so, and this is true. Like you always need a blunt, honest friend to go with you dress shopping, one that won't hurt your feelings. Because like everybody knows that you have like a blunt friend who's like too rude, and then you have other friends who are like, will be honest with you, and they know how to deliver it in a way that's like not rude if it looks bad.
Yep.
And they know how to like read the bride's face. Like you know when your friend puts on a dress and she really loves it, you know not to be like, oh my God, that's hideous, take it off. Like you know not to do that. But some people just don't. And these mothers on the TLC, Say Yes to the Dress, absolutely do not know how to deal with that.
Oh my God.
But something else about that show, is that they're always bringing way too many people. Like if I'm wedding dress shopping, I want 2 max, maybe 3 if I want one person from like each friend group. I don't want 15 people, my aunts, my cousins, my mother-in-law, my future sister-in-law. It's just too many cooks in the kitchen. Get out. Get out. It's too much.
Oh my God.
It's absolutely too much.
Yes. Kelly Keegs, I love you so much. Thanks
I love you
for taking
too,
my call on
Thomas.
my birthday.
Of course. Happy birthday. I hope you have an amazing night. And thank you for that call. That was fantastic. I love talking shit about those shows. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Mwah. All right, let's see. Let's go to Michaela from New Hampshire. Ooh, wants to talk about Bridezillas. I love this conversation. Michaela, what's going on?
Hey, Kelly, I'm so glad that you just had that conversation with him because talking shit.
Perfect.
I was in a wedding about a year and a half ago. It was a huge wedding party of like 19 people, which is kind of a nightmare.
That's so many. On both sides, like grooms and bridesmaids, or only bridesmaids?
19 total.
Oh my God, that's too many.
Which is still crazy.
Yeah, it is.
And honestly, the bride was a total bridezilla after all. I ended up spending $4,000 on this wedding alone. We had to pay like $250 for our makeup each because she hated one of her best friend's eyebrows and how she did them.
God.
It was a total disaster. So my question for you is, how do I like build this friendship back up, or should I even, after everything what happened throughout this wedding? She's not someone I really want to be like have in my life anymore.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you've been in a lot of weddings, so what's your advice on that? Like, have you ever had those sort of experiences, and how do you continue forward?
This is a really tough situation, and I have been in a situation like this, and it's very hard to come back after watching someone who you thought was like a really good friend, you like them, you never really thought much about their attitude, like they've always been good to you, and you've never seen them like treat other people like shit. Once you see that side of someone, you think like, oh my God, that's not my friend. Like that's not the person that I became friends with. That's not the reason that I'm in this wedding. Like I don't need to watch this girl like bitch out her friends and make fun of her friends' eyebrows and scream at her mother. Like those are crazy, crazy things that that happen to people with weddings. Like I don't know what it is. People just lose their fucking minds during a wedding. Like it's as if they lose all filter, they lose all sense of decorum, like entirely. It's truly insane, and I don't know how people get into it. But I would say, as far as advice of like keeping them as friends, I'd let it cool off for a little while. Let them come back to you. Let them notice your absence, and maybe make them think a little bit like, hey, why is this person not friends with anymore? Oh, probably because I was a giant fucking asshole at my wedding. Like, let them think that, because
Right.
if they can't get to that point, then you're right. They don't like really deserve to be in your life. You can be cordial. You don't have to be like overly rude to them or like ignore them completely, but definitely don't be bending over backwards to do anything for them, especially if you're spending $4,000 on their shit. $250 as a bridesmaid on makeup? That's insane. That's insane. Ladies, brides, you have to draw the line somewhere.
Too.
Right, because
Yeah,
you
it was
can't,
wild,
you
but-
can't, a lot of people don't understand that, like, sometimes you don't want to have to get your makeup done, but then if you're in all these photos and everybody has a full face with a thick layer of makeup on, you're gonna look like a corpse. You have to do it sometimes. It's insane. Michaela, thank you so much for calling about that. I'm all fired up now about that. I'm probably going to talk about that again. We're gonna hit a break real quick, and I'm gonna keep talking about this, take a couple more calls, and get into voicemails. Welcome back. We are going to take a couple more calls. We have 3 lined up right here. Going to take them real quick, and then we're going to go into the voicemails. First, we're going to talk to Kate from Connecticut, who wants to talk about a trashy bride. I love talking about trash. Kate, what's going on?
You know when you're watching like a movie or a TV show and the mom is like, oh, never be a trashy bride, like don't have too much to drink. I actually have rules for my wedding lined up like already.
Yeah.
I'm only 20 years old, but you know, you just got to have them. And I truly believe it's totally fine to be a trashy bride. I'm not talking about like trashy, like gross. I'm talking about trashy, like take tequila shots with me. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
don't
I'm-
be, like the.
I'm
I just
100%
don't like
with
that.
you on
Like,
that.
Have one glass of champagne, like no thanks.
No, 100%. Are you crazy? Like, I think anybody who's always like, oh, you can't be a trashy bride, whatever. I understand, like, don't act like an animal around your extended family or your grandparents or whatever. Like, control yourself a little bit in that situation. But this is your day, your party. It's all your friends around. Of course you're going to take tequila shots. Of course you're going to run around, make a conga line. Of course you're going to drop it low to Lil
Exactly.
Jon on the dance floor. Like, you're going to do whatever the fuck you want because it's your day. And if your like parents or your grandparents or your extended family, whatever, are like gonna have a problem with that, like they'd have to expect that. They have to expect like this is gonna be probably a rip-roaring time, and I can either get with it or leave early. Like it's one or the other. No, I think
Exactly,
I'm 100% with you. Do whatever you want on your own money. You're paying out the ass to be there, and you're paying so much for that bar. Just take advantage of it and have fun with your friends,
Yeah,
because
no,
otherwise you want to
exactly.
enjoy yourself. If you're worrying about how you look, not even physically, just like your attitude or whatever, the whole time at your own wedding where you should be most comfortable, surrounded by all the people that you love, you can't be doing that.
If you're not comfortable, then they shouldn't be there.
Exactly, Kate. Thank you so much for calling. I really appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye. All right, let's go to Jillian from Long Island. Wants to talk about destination weddings with no guests. Jillian, what's going on?
Hi, Kelly. How are you?
Good. Is this my girl, Jillian?
Yeah, and my mom's here too.
Oh my God. Hey, ladies. What's going on? Oh,
Love you.
what's going on? Eve, right? Eve is your name too?
Yes.
I
Eve
love
and
you too.
Jillian.
You guys are fantastic. I love when you call in. Thank you for calling. What are we chatting
We
about?
love calling.
Destination weddings with no guests. That's a
Yes,
tough
I'm
subject.
calling to roast my mom's wedding.
Oh geez, what'd she do?
So, when my mom got married, her and my dad got married in Antigua with no guests. The two of them just went. Oh, they only had 2 guests. So she had her friend and her friend's ex-husband. Now is the case.
Damn. R.I.P. to
But
that
they
relationship.
the 4 of them. The 4 of them just went to Antigua by themselves. A little wedding. So I want your thoughts now. Like, would you ever think of doing just fly away and get married on your own, or would you rather prefer the big ceremony and everything?
I am so 50-50 on that. I could go either way. So that the sound of that, like as you were describing it, I was like, wow, that's amazing. Like what a like romance on a whim. Just bring my besties and let's go get fucked up in Antigua. Like that's amazing. That sounds so fun. I think if I were to do that, I think that my parents would kill me. I think my mom would be devastated. I think that she would be like, you know, not that she would want me to have like a huge wedding if I didn't want one, but I think if I just like ran off with a couple of my friends as witnesses and got married, like a lot of people would be pissed. They would just be like, wow, we wanted to celebrate you, we wanted to party with you. So I'm on the fence. I could go either way. I like a little something out of the ordinary. I think that that's different. I think it's fun. And it was probably a real thrill, to be honest. Like, woo, we're crazy. We're getting married.
Was it a thrill, Mom?
It was a thrill. I knew everybody there.
She said she knew everybody there.
It's
Her, my dad,
perfect.
and her friends.
That's perfect. See, you know what? As long as you're happy, that's all that matters. You know what I mean? If you're having a good time, you're happy. It doesn't matter if there's 2 people there or 200 people there. It's still a wedding. It's still a celebration of love.
Yeah. And they're still together, 26 years married.
There you
so
go.
I guess
That's
the
fantastic.
wedding worked out.
I love to hear that. I love to hear that. Well, ladies, thank you so much for calling in again. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love when you guys call. You guys are the best. Let's see. Let's do our last call. Is Dakota from Southern California. Wedding party intros. Oh my God. I didn't even think about this. Dakota, what's going on?
Hi, Kelly.
Hi.
Hi, I just want to shout out the Chicks in the Office Snapchat group chat that I have. We're all watching live right now.
Oh,
and
fantastic.
It's literally so exciting for all of us. We love your Cutting Stems takes each week.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we have a lot of fun with that show. We have a good time.
Yes, but I do want to bring up, why are the wedding party introductions to the reception the most awkward part?
I have no idea, but I hate them every time. I feel like, why do we have to do the intros? Actually, the wedding I was at this weekend, they just called them all in. They were like, and here's the wedding party. And they all walked in at the same time, kind of went to the dance floor, danced around a little bit, and then got off. I thought it was perfect. I had never seen something like that. And I was like, why doesn't everybody do this? Because it's so annoying and awkward watching like the groomsmen and the bridesmaid who don't really know each other, but they're gonna pull out a beer and they're gonna get on one knee and chug it together, or like something stupid.
Yeah,
it's just so embarrassing. Why?
I've had it where one of the couples tried to open nips and take a shot, but it took 4 minutes to open it.
No.
And it was one of the most awkward things. Like, sometimes the couples, they do tell them maybe the day before.
Yeah.
And just seeing them try to scramble to make up these introductions is so awkward. But so awkward watching them as well.
Exactly. It's so awkward to watch because you're like, okay, I want to make fun of this right to your face because this is embarrassing, but like, I'm not trying to be rude. I don't even know what to do. Like, do I laugh? Are you wanting us to laugh at you? It's bizarre. I'm with you, Dakota. I hate them. I wish they would go. They're really weird to watch. But thank you so much for calling. I appreciate it. We have to get into the voicemails real quick. What you just said is so right. Like the wedding intros are just the most awkward thing in the world. Like, they're just so stupid. It's always the groomsman coming up with a dumb idea at the end, or the bridesmaid who thinks she's like being silly and creative and cute, and it never is. I've been on that same side of things where I've also had to do all that shit, and it's just embarrassing, and it's embarrassing to do it. So we should just stop doing it all together. Let us get into voicemails with our few minutes we have left. Gia, what kind of time we have for voicemails, you think?
We have like 4 minutes, so you could probably do one.
Excellent. Let's do not wanting a wedding real quick.
So I've been engaged for 2 years now, and my fiance and I both just don't fucking want to have a wedding because we don't want to be the center of attention, because that is horrifying. And I just think weddings are stupid and they're pointless other than the gifts. I mean, like, we might have a reception so that people can give us wedding gifts, because we don't want to miss out on that, because people freaking go crazy for that shit. But, like, why are weddings such a big deal? Like, what of them is so, I don't know, it's just dumb to me. Like, why are we spending all this fucking money to commit to each other in front of a bunch of people when we can just commit to each other alone and not have to pay out the ass for stupid things? I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird. I don't know. Peace out. Thanks, Kelly. You're the shit.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for those compliments. I understand where this girl is coming from. I think that it's you have to be a certain kind of person to really want a wedding. I think that there are more people out there that don't want it because it's become such a big thing. Like, weddings are so big. Like, I used to always be like, oh, I want a huge wedding. I'm so excited. Now that I've been to a lot of huge weddings and I've seen it, I think to myself, like, oh my God, the pressure of walking down the aisle, I think I'd pass out. And just walking down the aisle, even if I'm linked with my dad, I'll be like, oh my God, I'm gonna faint because everybody's staring at me. And I do love attention, but I'm, again, alone in this room. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of people looking at me right now, and so I don't really have to think about it. To literally see all these people watching me when I'm supposed to look so beautiful, what if I don't look like my best? What if people talk shit? Like, it's a lot of pressure. So don't put the pressure on yourself to feel like you need to do something that everybody else is doing. Do what you want. It's your day, it's your relationship, it's your life. Do whatever you want. Gia, you think we have time for one more?
Unfortunately, we do not.
Damn. Okay. Well, I'll talk really quickly about them. Somebody was calling in about plus ones, and they were asking what kind of situation are you allowed to plus one. I'm going to say this: if you are in the wedding party, always offer people a plus one. If you're a bride or a groom, always offer them a plus one. They can turn it down if they want to, but offer it. Just do it. Anybody else, whatever. They can do whatever they want. It doesn't matter. It's your wedding there. The other one is honeymoons. This girl wanted to know if they should spend all their wedding money on a honeymoon or save it for responsible things. And I'm going to say something irresponsible by saying that spend it on the honeymoon. Live your life. You need that time to regroup and come and connect again with your fiance, whoever it was, your now husband, your now wife. You want to start your marriage off on a good foot. Weddings are stressful, and usually at the end of a wedding, the bride and groom hate each other because they've been so stressed out planning the wedding the whole time. Spend it on the honeymoon. Worry about the house later. It will all come. It'll all happen in your life. That's basically all I have to say about it. I think this topic is really interesting. I think I could do 100 episodes about weddings. There are so many pieces to it. I implore you all to pay attention next time you're going to a wedding. Pay attention to the little details, because the brides and sometimes the grooms and all their friends put so much effort into it. So just pay attention to it. I look forward to talking to you guys next week. Next week, like I said, we're going to be talking about award shows. So get excited. Pay attention to the other line on Instagram for the voicemail number. And thank you guys for calling in and watching this week. Can't wait to see you again next week.